अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन। आज जिन शख्सियत का हमने इंतखाब किया है वो मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग में एक बहुत बड़े नाम हैं। ऐसे वेटरन मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर जिन्होंने 50 साल से ज़ायद जो है उम्र में अभी तक सर्व किया है जम्मू कश्मीर में, चाहे वो गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर हो, चाहे वो प्राइवेट सेक्टर हो। ऐसी शख्सियत जो एमडी जेके सीमेंट रहे हैं, जो चीफ़ इंजीनियर मैकेनिकल रहे हैं। मैं बात कर रहा हूँ जनाब इंजीनियर फ़ारूक अहमद वानी साहब की। ऐसी शख्सियत जो इरिगेशन फ्लड कंट्रोल, HVAC सिस्टम, हैवी मशीनरी ऑपरेशंस, PHE और चेयरमैन रहे हैं इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ इंजीनियर्स जम्मू कश्मीर स्टेट सेंटर के, और पोस्ट रिटायरमेंट एक सीनियर कंसल्टेंट रहे हैं इंजीनियरिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स को, जैसे ड्रेजिंग ऑफ डल लेक और कोल्ड चेन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर। फेलो FIE है, फेलो इंस्टीट्यूशन इंजीनियर्स के, और मेंबर IWWA और IIW के। एक ऐसी शख्सियत जो टेक्निकल एक्सपर्टाइज के साथ साथ स्ट्रेटजिक लीडरशिप और एक्सटेंसिव इंटरनेशनल एक्सपोजर के लिए जाने माने जाते हैं, जो मिडल ईस्ट और एशिया की जो अब नई नई टेक्नोलॉजीज़ हैं उनको J&K में कैसे करके इस्तेमाल किया जाए, उस शख्सियत से हम बात करेंगे। सो वेरी वेरी वेलकम टू द दिस पॉडकास्ट सर।
Thank you, Irfan Saab. I'm grateful. I'm rather quite pleased to have me here with you.
सर, शुरुआत हम करेंगे आपकी जो है पर्सनल लाइफ के बारे में, आपके चाइल्डहुड के बारे में। हाउ यू बिगिन योर अर्ली डेज, योर चाइल्डहुड, देन योर स्कूलिंग, एंड देन हाउ यू वेंट टू इंजीनियरिंग।
Yes. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. I am born in 1952, and I lost my father in 1953. So then my mother brought me up. She put me in the school, and those days we had the elite school was here in Srinagar, was Bisco School. If you know that, this is Tendale Bisco School. So I studied there until matric. Up to matric, I studied in the school, in that school only. I was I was 4 years only when I was admitted into the school. Although the principal that time, he was Mr. Tendale Eric. He was the son of the founder of that school. Tendale Bisco's son was Mr. Eric. He was our principal those days. I remember him. He just saw my hands, but then he said that time he's quite too young to be admitted. But somehow I had my cousin brother with me. My mother told him, "You go and admit him in the school." So he requested him earnestly that no, we don't want to keep him in he's a naughty boy. We don't want to keep him at home. His mother has told me that he should go to the school and stay away during daytime and all that, whatever it was. So then they admitted me. I was, frankly telling you, they put me in the age of 6 years. So then I studied in that school from the KG. And lower KG was those days. We used to have lower KG, upper KG, then first, second, and all that. Until matric, I passed in 69. So that was my school journey. Our school, it was more of sports. We used to have physical education, and then we used to have the skilled education also. They used to teach us carpentry. They used to teach us craftings. Those willow crafting. We make those baskets and all that, or chairs. We make those out of those willows strips. So those class also they used to teach us. That curriculum would come from England, and we used to have some books also from England. Anyway, but then as the board of education was there, that was common for all. So we also appeared, and Alhamdulillah, I always used to stand first or second in my classroom until I passed matric also. Matric, I was, without exaggeration, I'm telling you, sir, I had in the mathematics subject. That's how I became later on the engineer, which made me to go in for this profession. Otherwise, my home people, they were interested me to become a doctor. But I had out of those days we used to have 200 marks for mathematics. There was two papers, A and B. One used to be A used to be the arithmetic and algebra. B used to be the geometry. So in both, see, I got two. You would be surprised. I got 200 out of 200 marks. That was even that time who was the first positioner. Shanti Kiran Kao was his name. He was my class fellow. He used to sit with me in the class. So he got the first position in J&K, those days J&K board. But he didn't also have, he had around 190 plus something marks. He didn't have also touch 200. And that was quite a principal was Mr. J.M. Ray. He was a British, he was our principal that time. And he applauded me a lot. Even our headmaster, P.S. Salamuddin, God bless his soul, he kissed my forehead. He said, I'm saying first time in a Muslim boy getting 200 out of 200.
MashaAllah, sir.
Then after that, I joined Amar Singh College for 1 year as we used to have pre-university class. 11th class used to be called pre-university, and then after that we could go to engineering college. So I studied mathematics in PUC. Then after that, I went to engineering college.
So that is actually the mathematics which shaped you to engineering.
True.
So, sir, asking about describing your academic and formative years of engineering, because at that time it was 5 years, and how you were there in mechanical side, because in that formative years, maybe it is around 71 when you have joined engineering college.
Yes.
So at that time it was boom about civil engineering mostly. So how it happened to be
You are right.
mechanical engineering?
You see, basically, Irfan Saab, we used to fill up the admission form. So we used to have made the choice there only, which is our first choice, second choice, and all that. All the branches were there prescribed in the admission form. So we had to tick which one first. So I ticked that time electrical engineering. Electrical engineering was also boom that time. So I had ticked mechanical. This first choice was my electrical engineering. Then second choice was civil engineering. And mechanical was last of all. But what happened that, we used to have a common studies for 2 years, 2.5 years, 5. There were 10 semesters. We used to have 5 years course that time. Now it's 4 years. We used to have 5 years course. 5 years course, half of it would be without common engineering subjects and all that. After 5 semesters would be this, 5 semesters would be particular branch where we could go into a branch. Suppose I went to mechanical engineering, so that was from the 6 semesters onwards. Up to 5. So up to 5 we used to have common. So I studied. I could see that what I have to go for or which branch I should. I used to have pondering into it and all that. But I tell you that I saw there was a Hollywood movie called by the name Needle of the Eye. That was an espionage movie from Hollywood. That was all filmed in Germany, and that because of related to World War II. How espionage used to take place and all that. I was quite inspired. That movie was filmed in a factory. In fact, that movie was
Completely
so
filmed.
yes, I could see the machines here and all that. I was so much. I think I might have seen that picture repeatedly 3-4 times in the Broadway cinema. So I was so much impressed with that, so that it came to my mind that I should go for
Mechanical engineering.
Now your question is right that boom used to be for civil engineering, boom used to be for next was electrical. Mechanical engineering was as such nowhere, and the local we had no scope for mechanical engineering. We had no industry here, so no job opportunity here. So, but still I took a chance. So I went to mechanical engineering department.
Sir,
I changed my choice. That we could do it. That was permitted. I changed my choice from electrical to mechanical.
Great. So I was now serving more than 50 years as a mechanical engineer. You after your engineering, you have also been teacher also. You have taught in REC that time, now NIT. So from teaching to then as engineering field by qualifying PSC, then you have served technical as well as leadership posts, being chief engineer mechanical, uh, MD JKPCC. So sir, how to maintain balance between engineering expertise and administrative responsibilities?
Well, let me first say that, let me tell you how I came into the field. And it was my obsession was when I that my because I told you that that film was made in Germany. So my obsession was to go to Germany and go for higher studies in Germany. That was my obsession basically. But I had certain, I just missed to tell you that my father died at a very young age. Then my mother also passed away. So I had certain home responsibilities. So that make a big constraint for me to go for say abroad for higher studies. Although after my completion of BEE, a bachelor's course graduation, I applied for Institute of Florida in USA. I got an admission letter also, everything, but somehow I could not go. I then pursued. I was a meritorious student in REC also. Then the principal there, they and the head of the department, they used to love me a lot, and they said that until you get a job or you continue here. So I continued as a teacher, as a those days it used to be called associate lecturer. It was a stopgap arrangement. There was no post like associate lecturer, but there were so many posts were vacant. People did not go for teaching. So they had some, so they adjust me in one of the posts as associate lecturer. So 2 years I taught mechanical engineering there. Then I had no idea of going for the into the field. But after 2 years, in talking of 78, there was is the advertisement uh, issued by the government, notified in advertisement that they had notified some posts of mechanical engineering. Assistant engineers was the basic this thing. So I also had coffee. I said, okay, let me apply करने में क्या है problem है, apply करेंगे देखेंगे फिर, but least see hope that I will be selected there or something like, because those days used to see that सिफारिश नहीं है, बाकी चीज़ें नहीं है, तो कहाँ दे देंगे मुझे, but still I should try it, उसमें क्या देना. And that was the first time I tell you Irfan Saab, when there was a written test in the PSC. Until then, there was always, whenever there would be a PSC selection, they used to give only interviews, call the interviews on merit basis, what was their merit in the degree course, and then their personality touch, whatever was their experts were there, then they used to make the selection. But in our case, first we had, although there was a small number of people applied and posts were also very less, 5 or 6. So amongst that, we were 30 odd people who applied for that, and still they had a written test. But that was an objective type of test. They had just maybe like that, and I qualified that. Then they called me for the interview, and I appeared in the interview also. But least thinking that I'll be selected, but then it was God's grace that I was top of the list. I was the number one there also.
Sir, discussing about your career with Institution of Engineers, J&K State Centre, what motivated you to be connected with this institution?
Yeah, right. It's a good question. You said it, because this field, what you call it as the interest, you call it, was beyond our own job, which were government job, and our own department. What was the responsibilities there? We used to have this. I became the member of the Institute of Engineers in '77. I just after my qualifications, I became the member of this, because we used to be inspired. Because we used to see that, because college teachers also, there were so many college professors we had, they were members here. And then there was a lot of activities here. So then the field engineers, mostly the heads of the departments, they were here. I see जो भी the top cream or the management, we call them, they were all heads of the department. Some were from the colleges, some were from the field. So we used to get inspired by them, that what they are doing and all that. So then I also became the member, I was not persuaded by of my own. I came, I filled up the form, I became the member. Then we used to regularly come and attend the whatever was technical sections where technical debates were there, and we had certain days also in engineering. See, there was engineers day, there was so many days, environmental day, water day, and all that. We used to come and sit and enjoy the company of seniors and listen to them and hear them properly and ponder into it what that good job they are doing.
Sir, as
So that became the interest.
Sir, as you suggested that throughout your career, whenever after pursuing engineering, then when you were in teaching as well as in the field, the IEI has played a crucial role of capacity building at that times and motivated by your seniors. And then you became chairman in 2008,
Yes.
if I'm not wrong. And what were your priorities for the Jammu Kashmir State Centre at that time?
Well, Irfan Sahab, it was that time, you see, we had tough time here. From to 1990, it was almost closed, the center, almost closed. There was hardly any activity for 10 long years. Hardly any activity was going on here. But then we somehow, there were some seniors also. We met together and we made it slowly and slowly. We built it again. Then I was elected as a chairman in 2008. So my job was to give a new shape to this institute. And my responsibility was to admit more and more people. Used to have the vast experience of people were here. They had the huge experience. They had seen the field as such. Or in the college, they were the teachers. They had the full knowledge of engineering. So we used to share here. That was the excellence in itself, that we could give something for our own state or for our own nation. We could develop something and recommend to the government what should be done and where it should be. That's how this institute had come up.
In this technological landscape, how you see IEI's role today?
Well, I say yes, IEI has a great role to play that we have been seeing also. I am still associated with this institute as a member now. Previously, I used to be the member of the management committee also. We have a great role to play, yes, because otherwise government, if they have to do suppose they have to do a project, they call for the consultants, and most of the consultants come from outside, who have no knowledge about this our place here of value. So we propose to the government that we should have the local expertise, local consultants who can give
Local solutions.
proper direction to your projects and all that. We can give a proper advice for that. So that's how this institute can play a vital role. I have seen here in Institute of Engineers, we have younger people who are scholars. Although they are quite younger, they are at younger places also. Maybe some of them are even junior engineers, but they are PhD holders, masters. They have done it, so they can play as a huge role in this. We could see that how intellectuals they are and how visionary they are vis-a-vis our AI and the latest technologies which is in the world.
Sir, आपने बात करी बहुत सारे ऐसे projects की when you were there in the field. Your career has spans irrigation, flood control, HVAC, heavy machinery, especially mechanized snow clearance. तो जो मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर का रोल है पब्लिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट में, because you have served almost in every division of mechanical engineering in government sector, तो उसके बारे में बताएं.
Yes, I tell you. See, I told you when I was when I was employed as an assistant engineer in this, then I was mostly initially for 2 years I was in irrigation flood control department, but then I was sent on deputation to a very sensitive place and a big project that's called Salal hydroelectric project. You might have heard that.
Yes.
So I was also sent there also because we had an arrangement. J&K government had an arrangement with the government of India, rather National Hydroelectric Power Corporation, NHPC, which is called now. That corporation was those days only created. So there was an agreement that 80% staff will go from the state, 20% will be their staff. So mostly engineers would be sent by batches, would be sent to Salar project. So my also number came in 81. 81. I see I was also sent to Salar project. I worked for two and a half years, rather 3 years. I worked there as an assistant engineer. We used to be called there also as engineer. Then that was that memorable job I did. Working in a project is something awful experience.
So you have worked erstwhile mechanical engineer, chief engineer. So what complex challenges you encountered when you were chief engineer?
Yeah. We used to have, because this place is devoid of industries. We don't have industries here much. So we don't have factories here. So there's much less scope for mechanical engineering. So we used to always depend on the maybe if we go for snow clearance here, but it was a specialized mechanized snow clearance we had to do it. So we had to go for imported machinery here, because India we cannot get the such machines here. Yes, we used to get the vehicles and all that with local from Tata or from Leland, but who are the pioneers in this, but heavy trucks I would say. But the blades or the blowers we used to have, where it used to be say Gulmarg, 17 feet snow, those were the challenges. So for those the machines we used to get it, we had to do it for global tendering, and we had to get it from globally those machines. I had done a lot of it. I got machinery for Mughal roads. Mughal roads had just come up, and then it was finished, and then we required for clearance because 6 months, otherwise it would be. Now it is only for 1-2 months it remains closed because of those machinery what we purchased from we imported machinery, and some of the machineries we purchased locally from our I mean say the Bharat make machineries. Say there used to be there used to be one company, BHEL, Bharat Heavy Engineering Limited. Yes, they used to make these dozers and all that. We purchased those machines from them. But snow clearance machines, mostly the heavy capacity machines we used to get imported from Switzerland or Germany or maybe from Italy. We used to get those machines. So that was a challenging part of it. And then the most challenging part again was the central heating here of the hospitals. We used to, our department used to be responsible for those also. But that was an interesting subject. We used to study. We used to give best systems to the hospitals. All that.
Sir, you with your international exposure to Europe, Middle East, Asia, there were certain things which you have learned there, and you applied it that engineering practices in J&K. Please tell us about something.
Yes, I tell you, sir. In between, I told you that I just missed one thing, that in between I was, after I came back from Salal, then I was placed in PHE. I remained PHE for 17 years. I was not, they were not transferring me to some other department. I was just there until I became the executive engineer. Then in an executive engineer, I was placed in such a, I told you, very important division was MIC, Mechanical Irrigation Construction Division, where the big projects were to be executed. So I was placed there for 2 and 3 years. Then after that, there was we used to have the LAUDA, Lakes and Waterways Department Authority was the development authority was there. So I was specially sent to that place that time. I remember my minister was Qazi Afzal Sahab, peace be upon his soul. He was a nice person. He knew me, my working and all that. You could see that. Then the chief minister was Mufti Sahab. And Mufti Sahab posted me, they issued, which is abnormal, quite unprecedented, an order being issued by General Administration Department that I should go to, with me and the 2 colleagues, civil engineers. We 3 were posted in Lauda, because that time it was a prestigious, posting that time and department that time. The Mufti Sahab had a dream that we should clean this Dal Lake and preserve this Dal Lake. Conservation was very important. So there was some machinery which were brought earlier, imported machines for for the harvesting of these wheats and all that. Some machinery, lake cleaning machines we call that. So that was my first experience there, and I didn't know about that. But then I went there, and we did a commendable job there also. We made those sewage treatment plants, because all the sewage coming from the peripheries of the Dal Lake would go into the Dal Lake. So we made a project, we executed those projects, those STPs, 3 major STPs around the Dal Lake that arrested the sewage. That was another experience for that. And in that, then the government saw my working there, all that. Then they sent me, we had to get some more machinery for the Dal Lake. Then that time also they sent me to abroad to Switzerland, and then with me was another colleague, Rashid Teli Saab. He was I think he was a chief engineer, mechanical engineering department. We too were sent to study and look for those machines which could be used in the Dal Lake for its cleaning. So that was my first experience going abroad. Then after that, there was no end. Every year almost I used to go and purchase the machinery for maybe for the Dal Lake or for our mechanical engineering department.
Sir, you have exposure of such different Middle East and Europe countries.
That question was there. I could see that how they those particularly in Germany and Switzerland, I could see that, and even in France also, I could see how people were. What was their setup? What was their contribution in engineering field? How they would do it? How nice one would see that. One would be surprised, because we never had the such exposure. But I got those exposure. I could see that how machines are being made and constructed in those things. I could see that how they dedicatedly do it. I tell you an instance. I was in Switzerland, and we had to purchase a machine. I went to that factory. There they took me to the design section of the factory. There in the design section, I could see a big hall. Then there was there were people, young boys. They were on the computer doing the designing or all that parts. Each and every component has to be designed. But then I could see a cabin there. There was a glass cabin there. Then I went there. Then first they showed me those computers. I was just keen to know that how they are all doing. Then I went. Then they took me that cabin. I saw an old man, maybe around. He was 75 or 80 years old man with a beard, German. I saw him doing on what we were doing when we were studying in an engineering college. We had a T-square, and then he was a drawing board. You see, young people were doing on everything on
computers.
AutoCAD. It were doing all the drawings and everything on. But that fellow, I saw him. He was having books there on the table on one side, and then he was drawing himself on a T-square and then set-square and all that. He used to have a drafter also. He had a mechanical. We used to call it mechanical drafter. He used to have, and he used to align himself and everything he used to. I was 15 minutes I took watching him. Here, what is he doing and how is he nicely?
Sir, what major gaps in our current engineering ecosystem, particularly mechanical engineering and infrastructure sector, you see, and how that can be overcome?
Yes, I tell you, sir, this was mechanical engineering department is nowhere now. It has been, segregated. Some part has gone to R&B department, and hospital mostly has gone to mechanical engineering department. It's now been renamed as mechanical hospital engineering department. So this is what I personally oppose that proposal. I said that no, hospitals were already there, and mechanical, all the machinery and all that was there. Under one roof we used to work and all that, but that has been now segregated. I don't know what is going to happen in future. Otherwise, this was the best time we could expand in all these affairs and all that. Because now you can see that mechanical engineering has a very important role to play. Mechanical machines have a very important role to play even here also. All that. See, I tell you a story. They say that I have heard it when I was in irrigation department, when the first pump which used to draw water from Jalim was installed in the village called Padghampura. There used to be a lot of drought there. Then the people went to the then Prime Minister Bakshi Sahab, and they told him, we have drought, we have no water in the canals and all that. So he brought those days our stalwart chief engineer. He was those days executive engineer, engineer SDA Drabu Sahab. So he brought Pirzada Ghulam Nabi Sahab was the chief engineer irrigation. So he was also from England. The Abu Sahab also had come from England after studying their engineering. So they were at the helm of the affairs in that department. So Bakshi Sahab told them they had this problem. They said, we can solve them. We will we will install pumps and we'll give them the water. Then Bakshi Sahab went there to the public gathering and he told them, we are going to give water from the river to the... People said, sir, what are you telling us? Telling us something different. Pani upar se aata hai, niche se thodi kahan se aayega pani? No, I have got the I have got the jewels with me. They'll show you, they'll give you water. And that was the oldest scheme and that is still running.
Yeah.
Those I have still those are diesel run pumps. Those have been still preserved there. That is what role that started with the pumping irrigation was that from that age. I think it was 58 or 59 when it was started. Since then there was no end of it. So everything mechanical and all that. Then came the big snow clearance. Otherwise we used to have manual snow clearances. Then 4 feet, 5 feet used to be those roads were left like that. For after melting for 3 months, 4 months, then those roads would open. Then came with the mechanized snow clearance and all that. So it was like that.
Sir, you have a very impactful career, and what advice would you give to the young engineers, especially mechanical engineering, जो aim करते हैं young बच्चे हमारे, उनको क्या आप नसीहत करेंगे so that they will build a long and impactful career?
You see, is the question of interest, how focused you are, how interested you are in a subject. So my suggestion would be that's what I have done myself. I have been always focused towards I never cared for even my days and nights we used to spend on the in the field. So I would tell them earnestly that they should focus on their job, whatever is there, whatever little is there, they should contribute. They should formulate the projects. They should give good advices to their seniors, because they are the limbs, they are our limbs. The head of the department is one, but there are 50 engineers below. They all have to work together as a team. That is very important. A team, they have to work, and then benefit. That will benefit the people, and that will benefit the state.
Finally, sir, what message would you like to share with the engineering fraternity of Jammu and Kashmir and future leadership of Institution of Engineers?
Yes, that's better. We had always that. I feel you have been also my colleague here. We used to always, in every meeting almost, we used to say that our registration we should involve more and more people here in this. Even we had tried to involve, because there's no industry here. Otherwise there could be much more industrial people could be also involved in this thing, which would then would sit together and formulate the advices and all that. I would advise that people should come. Yes, this is a very important forum here. Very important forum here. I wish that this I could and contribute more about this thing, what I have done it earlier. But this is very people. I would suggest the youngsters that they should come and they should participate here in all the whatever technical sessions are there, seminars are there. They should come and sit and learn from this and contribute their own, because nowadays I can see that AI is there. Every youngsters also, they go for AIs, they study through AI. Now hardly any book is being referred to now. It is all AI, and then the Google also. So then they could come and they could contribute, yes, a lot. That is important.
It was really learning and very cherishing talking to you, sir. We really thank you for joining us today on this podcast. From our team and from my side, I am really thankful to you, sir. And I'll request our viewers to like, subscribe and share this podcast so that it will reach to all your fraternity members. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.